Surprise! I'm back! Yeah, 2 in 1 week. Yeah. See you next time. Alright everybody, doing alright? Anyway, I want to start this video off with a huge thank you to a YouTube superstar by the name of Bisley. Yeah, that's right, Bisley, and his pet Andy up at Derby Koi. When he saw the video about Jake and him and his setter's wheels and that lot, Bisley, being the lovely dog he is, decided to send Jakey a little present. I'll flick it around. So yeah, so he's got 4 bags of treats, which was really nice. He's got a little chew toy which he has been playing with already, and going he absolutely loves it. And there's a nice little letter saying, "Hi Jake, I watched you on my dad's picture box. Your new wheels look brilliant. You'll definitely get all the girly pooches in the park now." And yes, he does. They all come over and go, yeah, nice wheels, man. And I sent you some treats. I bought them myself out of my college fund. Don't tell the old man though. I'm glad I found a new friend. Keep on trucking. Stay safe. Love Bisley. Job's a good one. And he also sent me one of his dad's pens for myself to write out a big cheque to pay for it. But no, it's he sat down there now. Look, he's going, yeah. Don't talk about them. Just give them to me. And are you going to say thank you to Bisley? Hey? Are you going to say thank you to Bisley? Hey? I know you want to. So, up at the top, one of the main beams that supports the floor is quite rotten and must be replaced. To prepare, they've built a scaffold platform outside and another one inside to make a temporary floor to work on. Oh, he's watching him fall over. Yeah. Oh, he can't get in. Yeah, but yeah, new wheels are treating a treat. Around the house he's not too bad, but he does sort of slip and slide and fall over, bless him. We'll give him one of his treats in a little while. But honestly, Andy, thank you very much. It means an awful lot. It actually nearly moved the missus to tears, so that you're so kind. So Bisley is on the Christmas list now. So yeah, we'll have to get him something for Christmas. But thank you very much. It means an awful lot, and Jake really does appreciate it. Bless him. Right, guys. Anyway, thank you again. I'm gonna move on with the video. So, moving outside. Oh, Missus got all the washing on the line. Oh, bright sunshine. Oh, lovely. Anyway, we had a bit of a, well, minor disaster in the pond. I was at work and lovely lady wife cleaned out the skimmer for me, sort of like midweek, and we found she was out there. She lifted off the lid and this smell hit her, and on looking inside she found a dead bird. Don't know how it got there, whether it died of natural causes or whether one of the local cats had decided to deposit it in the pond or something like that, but yeah, it was in the skimmer box and starting to decompose nicely. You know, it'd only been there a few days. I'd cleaned the skimmer out thoroughly, as I do. As I sort of suck it all out, clean all the dirt out, give it a hoover around in the bottom, everything like that. I'll do that. So I'd done that Saturday last week because we were busy on the Sunday. But yeah, so yeah, it was a bit manky, and she noticed that Chad, the chag, and the cow had sort of like a bit of a red mouth just on the inside of things there, she thought. So I told her where to find the acaflavin, and she put the acaflavin in to the right dosage and that lot. just to be on the safe side. And thankfully everybody seems to be all right. So water still have got a bit of a tinge to it. Still got a bit of the greeny tinge to it, and obviously the UV was off as well, so you know, obviously you're going to get that effect as well. But yeah, nothing untoward, seems to be okay. And when Chad came up when I got home, and it now didn't seem too red to me, so hopefully we got on top of it. But handy tip, if you get anything, you know, check your skimmers, guys. If you got your skimmers going, you know, check them regularly, because who knows what you can find in your ponds. You know, it's quite easy for small animals and things like that to drown, even if you've got raised ponds. You know, little birdie can fall in, something like that. I mean, this wasn't a little bird, it was quite a big bird, black bird. But yeah, but we got on top of it anyway, so that's the main thing. Temperatures are dropping. You can see air source heat pumps on now during the day, and this is the problem I'm having, and it's playing on my mind, is whether to get the covers out now, because basically I'm just heating fresh air, and with the way fuel costs are going, alright, albeit mainly gas, but electricity's rising as well. You know, you've got to think about the pennies. Yeah, I know a lot of people sort of say I've never heated. You know, fair play, it's all a personal choice. You know, I heat because I found that they come through winter a lot better. Some people, they've never heated and claim they've never had a problem. So, you know, that's fair play to them if they can, but because of the garden being sort of like north facing, not south facing, and that in winter time it does take a long time for it to come out. It's in the shade sort of like for most of the year. It only gets the sun sort of like for probably about 5 months of the year. You might get the sun come round. Even in summer, you know, it's sort of like 10-11 o'clock before the sun comes round and hits the pond. So I made the decision to heat, and you know, personally I think I've made the right decision. I get the growth out of the fish, that's for sure. But yeah, thing is, I'm just wondering now with the size of the fish whether I might have to move a couple of the bigger ones on now. Should be able to get a decent price for them if I do. That could go towards the drum. Definitely going to go for a drum. Definitely going to go for a drum. But mainly just because of my job. You know, keeping on top of the Nexus is hard work. I mean, don't get me wrong, Nexuses are cracking filters. So you set them up right, get the right flow right, the rates and everything like that. They are cracking filters. You know, anybody who's been down the Seamon pond, you know, will vouch for the clarity of the water and, you know, the health of the fish. So there's obviously nothing wrong with the Nexus, but it's just keeping on top of the cleaning of it. You know, you need to do at least, really, when you've got fish this size and stocking levels that I've got, you probably need to clean it at least twice, if not 3 times a week, to really keep on top of it. And obviously because of my job, I work away most of the time all week. It's only getting it once a week, and that's not right. I don't think that's right. So yeah, drums definitely the way to go for me, but it's just the sheer cost of them. But maybe if I sort of move a couple of them on, a couple of the bigger ones on, I might be able to sort of like fund it, or I might see what Father Christmas brings me in the way of vouchers. You know, don't like to move fish on because I don't know, I'm not one of these hobbyists who's in it for sort of like bringing them up as far as they can and then sort of like moving the fish on and starting again. You tend to sort of look at each and every one of them as a pet, one of your family members. So it does get hard, and they all become stars in their own rights, you know, and characters, and everybody gets to know them. But anyway, so I'm going to do a filter clean in a minute, and I've just got to finish off the top. You know, I said it was all finished, but I just got to do a top row of the bricks there on the extension. It's all preparations and planning for either the drum or the Draco drop-in is also some other way I'm thinking of going. And you know, a bit more of the winter prep work going on. But everything's sort of now starting to see. I mean, I swept all this up yesterday, you know, and it's all dropping sort of thing. So winter is definitely on its way. This snakeskin maple just seems to be dropping its leaves a lot earlier than anything else, though. You know, all the other little Japanese maples seem to be holding their leaves at the moment. Still got a few bit of flowering going on, but first sign of a frost. I think that will all come to a sudden and abrupt end. But anyway, so I'm going to get on, clean the filters, and take it from there. Right, I'll catch you in a minute. Now, I went out shopping, went up to my local Lidl, and spied one of these when I was up there. Now, this is future planning again for when I go drum. As you all know, the filters are all in ground, so getting rid of my waste is a bit difficult now. When I clean my Nexus, I tend to hoover it out, which gives it a really good clean, cleaner than what it is, I think, than what you normally flush to waste. But future thinking again for when I get into the when I go into the drum or the Draco, whichever way I'm going to go, I've got to get rid of the wastewater. What I'm planning on doing is probably I'm going to move the Nexus over to this side, if I'm going to keep the Nexus and have a Draco drop in, or if I'm going to have a combi, and I'm thinking possibly of the QK25 Koiwpr 25 drum, because it's side entry, so the drum would sit sort of like across the back wall there, like that, and everything's side entry, so the water from the bottom drain goes in through the side, and your outlets come out from the side, which would work perfect in this pit. But either way, I'm going to have to dig down a bit more, drop a vessel in there for the dirty water to come from whichever way it's flushing, and then that's going to have to be pumped away to my drains, which is down there underneath the deck. So that's not a problem. I can I've already got a pipe running under there anyway, so I'll just have to dig that all up. But needing to pump the dirty water away, so again, some more submersible water pump, and it can handle dirty water. Parkside one. Now, yeah, all right, it's cheap. It only cost me 29 notes, but I've used a lot of the Parkside stuff, a lot of my tools and that lot I've actually got from Lidl, because they're cheap as chips, and personally I find them really good quality. Yeah, alright, it's quite high power consumption. What we've got there is 400 watts, maximum delivery height 7 meters, that's pretty good. Maximum flow 10,000 litres an hour. I'll take it out of the box and show you. So you've got a nice huge cable there. There's your upflow pipe, so screw fitting on there, so I should be able to put a connector on there straight to a pipe. You've got a rope there, so if you want to chuck it into your middle of your pool or whatever, you know, like if you've got a swimming pool, you want to empty your swimming pool, you chuck it into there and then put it back in. And then there's the actual pump itself. Yeah, obviously they're not as good as the more expensive ones, but you know, for a start, it'd do me, I think. You know, I'll try it out. If it don't work, it don't work. You know, it's got inlets in. Try and take it out the bag one-handed. You know, it's got fairly big inlets there for the dirty water, inlets underneath, inlets on all the sides there, so you know it's quite capable of sucking in solids up to 10 mil. And then you've got the float switch, which you can adjust to whichever height you want, so obviously you play around with it to however you want it. These work the opposite way to other ones, the cut off ones. These ones sort of like when there's water, a lot of water in it, switch on, and then when the water level drops it switch off. So yeah, like I said, for 29 quid it's certainly worth thinking about. So got that, I'll put that back away onto the shelf for future plannings. Now because I had the arcaflavin in, once I've cleaned the filters, I'm going to add a bit of the old Evolution Aqua Pure Plus. Now, does it do anything? I think a lot of it is personal choice. When I initially started the pond with the Nexus when it was brand new, yes, I did add it to my filters. Do I think it made a difference? Hard to say. You know, there's got to be a little bit of something in it. So, and I do add a bit of it every now and again, sort of like whenever I've done a bit of a treatment. Maybe it's just sort of like, you know, setting your mind at rest and doing things. You know, I think it might be a personal choice. There'll be people who say it doesn't work, and there'll be people who think it's the best thing since sliced bread. I think it does something, but I don't think it's the be all and end all, but I do think it does something. But what I will say, and what I've seen, is if you're adding this when you've got a brand new filter, yeah, what you got to remember to do is don't go adding it before you got fish in your pond. Yeah, I mean, if you set up your new pond and you know you got it up and running and there's nothing in the pond, no fish in the pond, just got your water in there, there's no point in adding this to your filter media because it will do nothing for it. Yeah, you need fish in the pond before you add this. So the day you put the fish in, slap a load of this on your media, make sure your UV's off for a couple of days or a day and that lot. Add this to your media when your fish go in, because if you're adding this, yeah, it needs the ammonia from your fish to feed it. Yeah, it's the nitrogen cycle. You need ammonia for the bacteria to live on. It's what they absorb. You know, it's not so much eating, they actually absorb the ammonia and turn it into nitrite and so on and so on. So, you know, don't go splashing this in, because like I said, you might as well just buy a bottle of it and just pour it out all over the floor. Yeah, do not put this in until you actually get your fish in the pond and then start doing it. You know, and if you watch Tim from Quality Nishigoi when he's doing all his pond visits and he's starting the new ponds, he will tell you exactly the same and that lot. He will not add any of that, and he adds it all the time to all the Nexuses. We're not adding any of it until the day he brings the fish down for the customers. So just a little tip there. Yeah, don't go throwing your money away and putting it into your filter media until you actually put the fish in. All right, okay, let's crack on. Now, I don't know whether I've shown you this before, Stridle, but when I clean mine every couple of weeks, what I do is I'll lift the centre standpipe out, and this will allow water from the outer chamber to backflake. And if you look in there, you see not too bad actually, because I think I've done it last week. Look, it pushes out a bit of the crap that might get stuck down in the hole. Push the pipe back down. Obviously it lowers the water in the outer chamber there, but that's not a problem. Yeah, so you just pull the pipe out when you're cleaning this, and it will just backflush any of the holes that go through into your outer chamber there where your media is. Just gives that a good clean out, make sure that it keeps the holes nice and clear. So that's the filter cleaned out. You can see how much the water level drops when you clean out a Nexus. But turn the air off to the outer chamber, and I'm just going to give a gloop of this just around, just so it sits on the media. Don't hurt to put a little gloop in the water. So just a couple of little gloops, just to give it that little bit of boost. So I think it'll give it that little bit of boost. I just leave that to sit just a little while with the air off, so it can attach itself to the media. But like I said before, whether it does anything or whether it doesn't, I think it's all down to personal beliefs, personal choice. I think it does something. There's got to be something in it, but whether it's sort of like is the all singing, all dancing answer is another question. But I do believe it does do some good, and I think I've seen the benefits of using it. But air's off. If they soak in for a little while, UV had to stay off for 24 hours just so it seeds, and then I'll put the UV back on tomorrow. Like I said, I'm only doing this because, like I said, I treated with aquafabin, and it will, being an antibacterial agent, or albeit a very mild one, it will knock back your filters a little bit. So continuing with the winter prep and that lot. Now, I spoke to you about insulating the outdoor pipes. Now, this is the stuff I use for anything that's sort of like exposed to the elements. Cheaper chips, spiral pipe wrap. Basically, all it is like a bubble wrap material coated with sort of like a silver foil outer sheath. It says on the back here that this, or it says on the front as well, that you wrap your pipe in this, it's the equivalent of 15mm thick polystyrene. So pretty good stuff, really. I mean, if it does do that sort of, those temperatures, sort of, well, that thickness, and to keep your pipes warm. And the good thing is, obviously, it's weatherproof. So all you do is just basically take it out of the package, and then you just, you know, just wrap it round in a spiral effect, overlapping, and then I just seal it off with just a bit of gaffer tape, or black nasty as we used to call it. A bit of black nasty used to hold the British Army together, that did, black nasty. It was good for anything. Good for your clothing, good for your wedding, good for holding your vehicles together. It's good for holding this together. And I use it actually on the covers. And we'll go and have a look at the covers in a minute, because they're going to need a good jet wash off. But I'll take you into the garage in a minute where I'll just have a little look at the winter covers. And but I'll get this on the pipe that's over there, just that little end bit that's exposed. Get that covered up, and that'll do for now. Encircled by the lynxes. There's two of them. Been going for about the last half hour. I'm not going back. I'm finished. I'm too old. So, in the garage, and you can see last winter's gunge and grimes got hold of them. So that's all my covers there, including the spare bits to make a little box go around the backy shower, as I keep that running all winter. You don't have to, they do recover quite quickly. You can turn them off because if you don't cover them up, they can supercool the water just by the way they act. But I enclose mine in polycarbonate so I can keep it running all year round, and the actual water blade is underneath the covers so none of the cold air can get to them. So get them out, give it a jet wash off, ready to go on. I am probably going to put them on this week. But look, my toy car collection needs a serious dust off. Yeah, that's me in a previous life, but there's some more down there. Look. Some of them are still in their boxes, just thinking about future years. There's my tankards. Yeah. Unfortunately, the garage is a bit of a mess at the moment because my daughter's putting all her bits and bobs and all that sort of stuff that she's buying ready for when she moves out. So we're having to store it all here in more boxes than I've got room for. But yeah, so we'll get the covers out, get the jet wash out, and we'll give them a blast off. So that's a couple of the covers just jet washed off. Just let them dry off because I did try and jet down inside the vanes there because they got a bit out. You can see up there some stuff stuck in there. Seal the engine up with tape anyway over the winter. Notice there's only a couple there. Notice there's only a couple there, so I'm just going to try putting 2 over this week. Let's go back in here. Got some more. This is the insulation that I was talking about for the pipes. Chuck it out there. Put it down. So as you can see, it's just like a foam, and then just on the inside you've got the 2 bits of sticky tape. You just peel them off, push it together and seal. But I found sort of like when you get a warm day or something like that, it does peel apart. So the ones I have got in there, I'm going to put some cable ties, a big bunch of cable ties. So I'm going to cable tie that up. This piece is for some pipe work I couldn't get to, but now I've extended the pit, made it bigger. I can actually sort it out and cover up that one bit of pipe down there. I'll show you that in a minute. But yeah, so that's the pits on. That's the covers washed off. Like I said, I'm only going to cover part of the pond to start with, just see what difference that does make. Hungry? Look at him. Show your mouth, Joe. You looking a bit red or not? No. But yeah, so while they're drying off, I'll get down into the pit and cover that pipe up, and I'll show you in a sec. So as you can see, all you've got to do, I've just done this bottom bit here, which I couldn't get to before. And the problem is when you go around the bends like this, it's a bit of a stretch to reach and it pulls it apart. So basically you just peel off the 2 bits of tape and then push together. The problem you get then is as you're trying to push it together, it starts sticking to the plastic. But it does stretch with a bit of effort. It stretches, but like I said, it starts to pull apart. So just take it. I haven't got any big cable ties, so I'm having to join 2 together, which is quite simple to do. So you just push one into the other and like that, and then go onto the join, give it a little tug, tighten it all up, another one together. And again at the top. That's going into the then that goes into the UV, this pipe. Well, I should say this is the exit pipe from the UV. Maybe just one more just on the other bend. Don't know whether you can see that, but it's starting to peel apart, so I just need to put another one just there. I just use cable ties because it's nice and easy. And then you just trim all these off and neaten them up. I ain't got my pliers with me at the moment, so I can't do that. So just a couple more, do a couple more and I'll get back to you. So cable tie, like so, I just need to stick these all off and that lot, but for those are you interested, excuse the wiring, but there's me backup inline heater. You know, I've got the air source heat pump, but if anything goes wrong with that, then I've always got that to fall back up on. Hopefully not, because they are so expensive to run. Yeah, it's a 2 kilowatt that one. Basically, for those of you who don't know and got on it, it's like a kettle element in there. All it is an element that heats up like your kettle does, and that heats up, and then the water passes over that and it heats the water. So basically it's like running, I think most kettles is 2 kilowatt, 3 kilowatts. So basically it's like having your kettle on virtually all day long. So that's how much power they use. But they're handy in a situation as a backup if you do heat with any other means of heating and it breaks down. You can just run out, plug it in, it's all set to preset to 16 degrees. I don't know if you can see better, like that, there you go. Now some people do have them actually plugged in and switched on all year round, but set a few degrees lower, or a degree or 2 degrees lower than what they're actually heating to, which is an idea, and I suppose I would have done, but I've just run out of sockets basically. But yeah, it's there, it works. I do plug it in every now and again, so like I said, it's there for backup. While I'm down in the pit, just sorting out the things, just thought I'd give out a couple of shout outs to a couple of new channels you might not be subscribed to. First one is the People's Pond. Absolutely gorgeous little pond there. The fish, it doesn't come across, I think, on his channel when you look at them in the pond, but the fish are just amazing. There's some real clonkers in there and some beautiful fish. Not to say they haven't had his issues. He's been through the mill a bit. There's Artisan. He's had a few problems, thankfully come out of them the other end, and I won't go into the saga that he had with his Draco drop-in drum. I'll leave that for you to go see and have a little look at, but yeah, a bit of a tale to be told there. So I'll pop the link down below, but that's the People's Pond. Not subscribed, pop across, subscribe, say I sent you and that lot. And the other one is our local Surrey nutter. Is Surrey Koiwpr, Surrey Koiwpr Garden and Aquatics. What this bloke doesn't know about building, tiling, fiberglassing, you name it, he's done it all himself.
isn't worth knowing. He's absolute star, absolute genius in the building trade and that lot. Well, I think he is anyway. And he's a complete and utter nutter when it comes to it. Got a lovely build that he's just completed. Absolute lovely bloke. Met him actually face to face at the All England. We had a good old natter about drums and things like that. He got a good old whinge about a certain maker drum, but it's worth going across and having a look at. So if you're not subscribed to his channel, again, link down below. So Surrey Koi Pond Garden and Aquatics. So all down below, pop across. If you like what you see, hit the old subscribe button, help them out. Alright, let's get on with the winter prep. Alright guys, see you in a bit. Ta-da. So, one thing about polycarbonate sheeting, yeah, I know it's a funny shape, but you all know I've got an in-ground pond, and unfortunately when you've got in-ground ponds all rocked in and that lot, it's not as easy as a raised pond where you just have sort of like nice rectangular bits or square bits of polycarbonate, so cut it out. But this is just a 10mm. Yeah, I'd like to go 16 or 24 or something like that, but yeah, price of this stuff at the moment is absolutely extortionate. But polycarbonate comes sealed on the ends, but on the narrow ends where the channels run, it's all open. You know what you need to do, you can buy the tape especially for this, but get that down there, but just good old masking tape and that lot, strip it up the side, fold it all in there, hold it in. It's basically all about trapping the air in if you can. It's a bit like your double glazing and that lot, and then the air's in between sort of like acts as an insulation barrier from the winter effects. A bit awkward doing that obviously because it's cut out, but I'll get on and get these sealed. So that's the ends sealed up with the old black nasty all around there and down the far end as well. Got my pit open still, so I've got to be careful what I'm doing. So that'll be ready to go on in a minute. Before I can do that though, I have to unfortunately remove the little decorative panel there that hides the old back of your shower. Otherwise I can't fit them on. So I'll get that unscrewed and get that out of the way, hopefully without pulling all the mind your own business with it. So, hey presto, it's gone. Front and the back of your shower to do a wipe off. And that's that there. So that'll be going away into the garage for overwinter storage. Yeah, need to give that a quick wipe over and brush off or something like that, just to clean it up a bit. So I know it's not very pretty, but this time of year I suppose it isn't it, really? So that's two covers on, plus the one that comes over the little stream to the skimmer. This one lifts up so I can get to it, get to the skimmer. Once I decide to put the last cover on in that gap there, then what I do is obviously because of the rocks and the being off the ground here, I go around with a big roll of extra thick bubble wrap stuff, you know, the big pockets, brilliant stuff it is, and then I just tape that all the way around the edges on this side, around that bit, around that edge there, all out over the plants. It also gives the mind your own business and all that a bit of winter protection. But yeah, do all that all around there. On this side it meets the deck, and I've got little slips of polycarbonate going around there and little bits of polycarbonate to fit around that bit. And obviously around the back of the shower I've got another polycarbonate sort of like encasing front, back, sides, so the back of the shower is fully insulated as well throughout winter, so I don't get no heat loss through that. And as you can see down there, the spillway is protected. Be interesting to see whether this makes a difference to heat retention, just putting a couple over. Mainly this is just to stop the leaves falling. But I'll give it a week at this, just sort of see what sort of difference that makes to how often the air source heat pump's going off. And then I'll have to take the feeder away and then put the last polycarbonate sheet on. Yeah, that time of year, but like I say, it's wearing away now. Like I said, so I don't want to be eating fresh air, heating fresh air. Don't mind eating fresh air. All right, catch you in a minute. So, just doing a midweek filter clean. So I'm not sure what time I'm going to get back from North Yorkshire. So it might just have to be a big, quick clean when I come back at the weekend. Okay, so put some more, as you can see, put some more gel on. I'm going to do an ammonia test in a minute, just sort of see what the levels are at. But yeah, God, it's ugly, isn't it? But needs to be done. But a bit of plant talk. I know a couple of you out there brought one of these. So come back. Look. So Japanese paper bush. A couple of you sort of brought some just on my recommendation for the early spring fragrance you get off of this. But I'll just point out, if you've got an established one growing, you may notice that you're getting these heads forming now, and it's in full leaf. Let's bring you around right up under there. Now what will happen, see if you can look closely, I've got it all over the bush. What will happen with these is that now this time of year, or sort of like when you get the first frost, the leaves will start dropping all off, and these heads will stay and they will remain throughout winter, and that is your flower head for the early spring. And so what happens in, like I said, in the early spring, just as things start to warm up a little bit, these are open out into sort of probably about that size, and depending on which one you get, because you can get yellow or red, both smell the same. This one's a yellow one, as you've seen, and then like I said, you get just the most amazing early spring fragrance. If you get a nice warm spring's day and that lot, I mean, it's just intoxifying. So for those who are just wondering, don't go pruning anything down and cutting off these heads, otherwise you won't have any flowers come next spring. But yeah, it's that time of year. I'm gonna have to chop the Eton canna, but I don't really want to, because where's it gone? I might get some late flowers out of it. And there's me June koi having a late rush as well, and everything else, like, you know, it seems a bit daft having to put the covers on, but like I said, just throwing good money after bad. Anyway, get this filter cleaned and I'll do an ammonia test. Then have a little chat about the hanna meters. If you haven't entered the competition to win a hanna meter just yet, then there's still time. Hopefully by the time this goes out, there's still be time for you to get in lastminute.com. I'll post a link to the video you need to comment on and enter. It'll be up here and that lot, but get a lot of questions about the hanna meters and the readings and how you work out the reading on there, and I'll go through that with you when I get the hanna meter out and do my ammonia test. I'm just going to do the ammonia midweek. I've done all my tests at the weekend. Like I said, ammonia a little bit high, but that's mainly down to the arcaflavin that I put in because of the dead bird. All right, I'll catch you in a bit with the water test. So you can see I've got a reading of 0.07, but this is ammonia nitrogen parts per million. What we need as fish keepers is just ammonia. Now, if you look in the instructions, it tells you there, if you want to convert it to a reading of ammonia, you multiply that reading by 1.214, and that will convert it into ammonia. Or if you want, you can use this chart that I found on Koiwpr. Anybody wants it, you can give us a chance. Not quite as accurate as doing the sums, but it gives you a rough idea of where you are. The middle one there is the ammonia readings. Although the chart's in German, it's fairly self-explanatory. The first column, Ultrig, is the actual reading you get on the device. The middle column is the reading after you've done the conversion. And then the column on the right there, where it's in colours, is in milligrams per litre, and it gives it green, amber and red. So when I've done the conversion, my actual reading was 0.084 something or other, but all you need to worry is 0.08, and then sort of like you said, you can use the chart and make life a lot easier, a lot quicker, rather than messing about with your calculator. Either way, like I said, the calculator way is more accurate, but the chart is so handy just for a quick reference. And like I said, if anybody wants the chart and they can't find it on the internet, drop me a line with your email address, and I'll mail it across to you. So, but you have got to do that conversion. Like I said, the reading you get off the meter is not your actual ammonia reading. It's ammonia nitrogen. Yeah, your actual ammonia in the water will be higher than that. So you might think that, yes, you've got high ammonia and it's a safe level for your fish, though, depending on pH, blah, 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 whatever. Whereas in fact, if you do the conversion, you actually find that it's not a safe level for your fish, and things are a bit more desperate than you need to be. But yeah, but you see on that chart, it covers nitrite as well, so it's a handy little chart to have. Anyway, guys, long video this week with all the winter prep and everything like that, but like I said, a lot to get in, and I'm off up to see the grandkiddies up at Catterick in North Yorkshire, so gonna leave you to it. Have a good weekend, or a good week, and that lot. Hope the weather stays with us for now, although the temperatures are getting cold. Stay safe, look after yourselves, and get the double jab. Get your COVID booster and get your flu jab at the same time, especially if you're over the certain age group that I'm in. All right, guys, stay safe, and remember, it ain't a hobby, it's a lifestyle. See you soon. Bye.